Hello and welcome to this video. It is a gorgeous day outside today. Albeit still very cold. After what was endless, or felt like endless rain, the wells filled up really quickly. There was water laying everywhere, rivers flowing down the roads, and we even had snow on the Estrella Mountains. It is still pretty frosty. Nights are dipping down to very cold 0s and 2 degrees. We're getting frost again, and I'm hoping it's the last frost of this season. I have been incredibly fortunate in meeting a local Portuguese guy that helps a few of the quintas around me and in the area with pruning work and also maintaining farmlands as well for people that need help. And he has kind of taken me under his wing and decided that I am probably his new project. He speaks no English, which is very good for me because I need to practice my Portuguese, and he helps me with my Portuguese as well. But he's not only helping me with that, he has been helping me with my vineyard prune, and he manages some really big vineyards in the area, and I've tasted his wine, and his wine is actually really good. He's also helping me prune my olive trees, so don't get a shock, but this year my olive trees are getting the Portuguese cut. Some places need more than others, and especially my very large trees at the back there will need to be cut quite a lot actually. I completely trust him because he says that he usually harvests 6,000 kilos of olives every year. So his trees are doing really well, and I've seen them, they're super healthy. He did mention that some of my trees really had some very dry areas, so he's trimmed off a lot of the either sick or dead branches. So it's not just trimming for the sake of trimming trees, it is to obviously help with all of the areas where they're sticking out quite a lot up in the air, and it's also to help bring down these really high tall trees. So it will help me with pruning season as well. Then I can reach more of the olives in the trees, which means that I can harvest more olives as well. He's going to, and he's already started, just jumping in and pruning some of my fruit trees as well, and I can't wait to see what he's gonna do with this massive orange tree, because his own orange trees I've seen on his farm and they look like beautiful little bonsais, so I can't wait to see what he's gonna do with this. So this has been tremendously helpful to me because it gives me more time to focus on other things, and it just gives me more time in general. Unfortunately, having more time and with all the rain that's been coming down, I turned my attention and focus as well to doing something and starting on a project that I've been wanting to do for a very long time now, but I've never had the money to do so. And with all of these farms, with any kind of DIY project, you have to budget really carefully, of course, with what you want to do. So I can't do everything at once, and things will potentially happen, and things happen slowly because I need to budget for everything that I want to do. The big budget last year went to my kitchen. Big budgets this year is going to renovating the outside, and hopefully I can even put the roof on those 2 storeroom areas that do not have a roof at the moment. But with all the rain, it's really unpleasant to be outside. So I've started tinkering, and I started seeing if I can make it work, because I just want to have some pleasantness outside. So I've started pulling together a new project, which you will not get to see in this video because we haven't started on it yet, but hopefully we will start on it before the next video, unfortunately. But it is something exciting that I'm really excited about, and that's going to make my life so much better. In this week's video, because we've had so much rain, I had to focus more on inside stuff. So I continue with the finishing off the corner cupboards of the kitchen, on the bottom corner cupboards of the kitchen. And also I start finessing some other things in and around the space. Thank you for watching.
This is Girl Meets Farm.
No leaks. About to attempt this inner piece for the cupboard. It will look like that. I bought some, what I can only describe as contact paper, contact film for the countertops, because even though they have been oil, I am not loving the splashing of oil on here, which does leave dark stains. They do disappear over time, but I'm not loving it. So I thought maybe I can add extra protection. Now, if any of you ever had to cover your books in school with contact paper, you would probably remember how awful that felt. So let's hope I can actually manage this without creating bubbles and it looks okay. It's meant to be for countertops, so let's see. Well, as with covering my school books, there was as much trauma in covering this counter. I don't think it looks ideal, but and it certainly isn't perfect, but you know what? At least I can wipe things off. So if oil splatters onto here, now I can wipe it off a little bit easier. The good news is that this is also removable, so you can take it off and stick it on, and I think I bought a sufficient amount of this stuff. So if it bothers me, I'll just take it off, or I'll have to live with oil splattering on the counter. After cutting the top and the bottom of the cupboard now fits, but unfortunately the hinges for the cupboard doors are created, I would say, the holes on the doors, so they can only go on specific areas in the cupboard skeleton itself. Unfortunately, these don't line up. They're like a little bit higher where they need to be from the pre-existing holes. Now I tried to drill, but unfortunately my drill doesn't go up there, and it will be very tricky to get that in straight. And with cupboard doors, you do want things to be straight, otherwise you will have endless problems. So I think the easiest thing for me to do is to actually just go and get different door hinges and try that again. I want to try and clean these up and see if I can make them work as a door frame. Let's see. Probably shouldn't be cutting inside, but everything's here. When the doors line up and clip in nicely, everything works brilliantly. But I'm having lots of issues with this corner cupboard. There's been so many things with it, of course. I can't align this top cupboard properly because that very top bracket clip thingy, I can't take it up anymore. I think it may have stripped, so I may just have to put a new one in and see if I can lift the cupboard up. Because if you look closely, I don't know how much you'll see there, the two cupboards are not aligned. It's because this door needs to go a little bit up. But if you see me moving this door upwards, you'll see the two cupboards actually split away from each other. That's because the screws that's keeping them together have actually come undone. I've tried to put them back, but I think it's a job for two people because one person needs to be pushing and holding them together while the other one screws them in. So I have to give that some time and see when I get help again to just do that. The bottom door has been a nightmare. I have cut this door so many times. Yes, I know it's not 100% straight, but it's the best that I could do. I filed it down, and I'm also going to paint it on the top just to make it look a little bit better. But I have struggled so much. Yes, you can hear it's still scraping on this counter, but it's not necessarily a cupboard that I'll be using frequently. It's really just to hide the geyser, the hot water boiler. The top one I managed to align perfectly. The bottom one I've had to re-drill holes, well, for both of them. But I've had to re-drill these holes and position and place and move literally millimeters to try and get this bracket to clip in to the clip. Now that it's finally clipped in, it's a bit loose, and now the cupboard doesn't want to unclip anymore. So I'll have to attempt that another day as well. I possibly just need to fill the hole a little bit where I had to make the hole bigger to maneuver this bracket at the back so many times to get this to clip in, but I'm happy that it clips in now, and although it's clipped in, because there's movement in that back clip, this door won't close properly. If that bottom one was in tight enough, this would keep the door closed. And also I need to position this top door so that I have more maneuverability in this door, so that I can actually lift the whole door higher so that it will no longer scrape on the bottom. Yeah, I'm starting to dislike putting cupboards and doors and things on tremendously. But that is the current situation. To do the next bit, I've had to, of course, cut this door to size as well. Not that that's actually a door, that is just a cover panel. And that panel will not have feet. I'm not particularly happy with having that stand directly on the floor, so I'm going to lift it just a little bit, half a centimeter or so off the floor. And then it needs to be attached to this cupboard directly. So it will effectively be loose, attached at the bottom here, and then there'll be nothing to attach it anyway, because it's just going to be a panel over the fridge. And the top little cupboard that I built over here, that one will go above the fridge, and there'll be a 2 centimeter gap and 3 or 4 centimeters each side of the fridge, and another panel on the other side. The other panel is going to be a problem because it can only attach at the top. I guess I can do the same as what I did with the cupboards and connect it with L brackets. We'll see. We'll see. That's going to be today's mission. So that's the idea, but I've just run into another snag. And I think, I mean, the principle, in theory, this is going to be great. It's going to sit over there. There's going to be this little nook. I'm supposed to maneuver. There's going to be this little nook over there where I can put something like an appliance or whatever. And that cover panel goes up to there. The fridge is going to move over. There's going to be a little cupboard and another panel, equal panel, on the other side of the fridge. It's just to tie together the space. What I did not figure into into this was that I was going to run into an issue with the wall. Because this wall is not as straight as I thought it was. There is at the bottom, this panel is flush to the wall, and I don't know if you guys can see that, but as you move higher it goes further and further apart, and this is possibly maybe 4 centimeters. Here we're kind of almost there. Where it's meant to sit is there, so that the door is in front of the cover panel. But at the moment it leans over because it can't move more back at the end. What I may have to do is slice off that bottom bit so that we can get the front nice and flush. Something like that. And then it needs to be flush all the way down, so I probably need to cut off whatever that difference is on the back. Yeah, and then that's the idea. I've cut away a section of the panel and that should fit now. And I don't know, maybe this is what everyone does, but I thought it would be clever to put, maybe there's something I don't know and it's not clever, but I thought to put a strip of this felt stuff at the bottom of the cover panel so that it doesn't just stand on the floor and damage and crack away and whatnot. Let's see. And with just a little out-the-box thinking, I fixed it! I still need to do all the adjustments, but the cupboard door closes now, so I'm happy with that. That's cool. How did I do it? Old school. Old school kitchen clasps. Kitchen cupboard door clasps. And it works. The items for my new project has arrived and I have wrapped it up as best I can to protect it from any water and rain. Can you guess what I'm doing?